Joshua Bridgman. Is that your actual name, Joshua Bridgman?
Joshua Stephen Bridgman.
Stephen.
Man like Steve.
Man like Steve
Big
in the
up,
It's my
building.
dad's
Done
name. Arrogant bastard.
Steve,
He's like, I shall call him Steve after myself. You know, them people who are like, you know, like Floyd Mayweather Jr. and
Yeah,
Floyd
no.
Mayweather Jr.
I'm definitely getting in some.
Thomas More II.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. And we still have misogynistic, narcissistic, self-absorbed
Perverted.
males in the fitness industry. I feel like a lot's happened in the last 7 days. Brandon Harding's got OnlyFans.
Yes, he has.
I've seen it.
What have you seen?
All of it. I've seen all of it.
I think it's a very personal move, and I think it's one of them topics. It's like taboo, isn't it? You either love it or you hate it.
It is, but I feel like you said the other day, I think we're becoming more accepting of sex.
I think we're becoming more accepting of everything that once used to be considered taboo.
Yeah,
Drugs,
look at anabolics.
Like,
Of course, it's so
everything's
true.
a little bit naughty.
It's so true. Maybe he's kick-started it. Because I was thinking the other day,
Love to get my chopper out.
why not? The Black Friday special.
Yeah.
That was the most off the cuff intro. I think I've
That's why we call it off the cuff,
and
Joe.
the first two were a bit better. That was awful.
What do you mean? I prefer it when it's not like. I prefer it when it's just literally off the cuff.
Straight
It's
in.
better like that, mate.
Didn't even introduce it, mate.
No, we don't need to. Not at this point.
We should be asking each other how we are though. Especially after last week. Don't just forget because we did.
Oh
mental health,
no,
you
not
know.
at all.
How are we doing, Tom? You good?
But yeah, I'm good. Thanks for asking. How are you, Joe?
I'm good, mate. I'm good.
After your surgical procedure of
Yeah, how's that going?
removing
Yeah.
blood.
I remember the first time we did it, I was a bit dodgy. Second time, I was just getting a bit annoyed, and now I'm good. I've not even got my vest on today.
Oh,
I'd show you, but I don't want to. I don't want
No,
to check in
no.
case there's blood running down my top.
You
No,
should-
much better.
You should put that in your bio now. Doctor, therapist, you help me out.
Yeah,
Bodybuilder.
yeah. I
Coach.
can claim all those things as well.
How are you feeling about the recovery? I know for me, like the visual side of things was huge for my hernia, and I was shitting myself. And this is a nipple, so
Yeah, I think literally up until whatever day it was that I decided to plunge a load of blood out my chest, I was feeling real shit about it. To be fair,
you described that on Instagram as well.
Yeah, I know. I'm surprised it didn't
Mum
get
had
flagged.
Mum had
She
a
was
right go.
fuming.
She had a right.
My mum was like that as well.
My mum messaged me saying, "Oh,
Joe's, you see Joe's.
yeah,
Did she actually?
yeah." Well, she's a nurse, isn't she? She's a psychiatric nurse. She's done
She
it.
she wasn't happy. She was like, "There's lots of people that follow you," and she was like, "I don't like to be negative. You know, I'm really proud of you, but just rein it in." I thought the needles pick was a bit far.
Yeah, because you
Oh
just
yeah, that was pretty grim.
clutching a
I
handful
could've-
of insulin.
I
Pills.
could have left the blood in there.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, no. I'm really glad I did it. I take a lot of initiative in life and in general, and I think that was one of the things that I just had to do because it was making me feel shit.
Because that's essentially what they would have done for you
my,
anyway, right?
my
Yeah.
nipples looked, my left, it was like domed. Do you know what I mean? And I never had anything on my, no one would have ever known that I had anything on my left before. He obviously took a bit out, and then it's for some reason.
What do you mean,
gone
don't
wrong.
like?
Literally, like almost like pointing.
Blown.
Oh my
Yeah,
God,
so-
there's some money for that.
So when I was putting my when I was putting my
It's a
hands
kink.
above my head, it was not nice. So yeah, I feel better now though. They both look
I
good.
mean, your
Yeah.
physique hasn't taken a.
Oh mate, I feel deflated.
Yeah,
Yeah,
mentally,
but
you'll feel it.
This is what I was going to ask. Surely it's always on the individual, the holder. You think, oh no, it's catastrophic. But you put that picture up of you, I wouldn't know.
Oh, I
Like,
don't know.
I wouldn't know.
You must have seen it.
Yeah, I'd feel it. I can see the slight difference, but like you feel it way more than what it is.
In my head, I'm like, it's going to come back within a week, so I'm not bothered. But
Yeah,
like,
yeah, of
I'm,
course.
you know what I mean? I'm just not stood in the mirror too often.
When do you think you'll train again? Or like
I
do some legs or something?
would like to get legs in next week. Maybe even back in this week. I've still just like my left one's not. It's not healed. There's still an incision there, and the right one I think it's a hole where the stitch was. It just keeps leaking at the moment, which is pissing me off.
Sorry, guys. If this
But,
is, I think we upload later on in the evening.
what is it?
but
NSFW.
Not
What's
safe
that?
for work.
Yeah, that's it. Not safe for work.
That's new to me.
You never work.
You have to go onto the naked pages on Reddit to find that out.
I've never worked.
Not somewhere where you wouldn't be NSFW.
What? So tell me what that means again.
Not safe for work. So you flick someone up on your Mac and you're at work, and next to the other person on his Mac, and you're looking at porn.
Right.
That's not safe for work. That is, because you'll get fucked.
Oh, that's so good.
So you sometimes you get like sites that will come up and it'll blank it off and it'll say not safe for work. You sure you want to enter?
Oh my god.
Or in like the title of the article.
Yeah, I've never been in any establishment whereby that would be a thing.
Didn't have to be porn. It could have been anything that's not safe for work.
GNC, worked in a curry house. I was a carpenter.
I worked in a curry house.
How?
My dad owned it.
But was you delivering?
Like part owned it. No,
I was-
I used to be at the front of house, mate.
Oh,
I
really?
used to do the drinks because
You're-
they're
You are a bit Indian though, aren't you?
I am an 8th Indian.
An
Yeah,
8th Indian.
yeah. Dad's caught in.
Trivia.
Wow. Yeah, no, I was a delivery boy. I used to knock on the door and they used to open the door and go.
You from the Indian, are you?
I used to think it was like a prank. But they were very good on the tips. Very good on the tips.
How do we want to roll this? Do we want to do the questions or do we want to do said topic?
I think that.
Or
I
some of the questions about the topic, maybe?
I think we should go into
Yeah,
a
I think-
topic that we'd like to speak about and then come on to the questions. I don't think anyone's asked me about sexual harassment, which is what we're going to talk about today.
That's
Yeah,
mad, isn't it? That's
unfortunately.
wild. Another
Disgusting.
case.
Yeah,
I just
Another
think
case.
this for me. This just highlights the and this is coming from. I'm not going to say I'm a top coach, but I'm a damn good coach, and I'm established. When there's no regulation in an industry,
Yeah.
people run wild, and not only do you get negligence in terms of poor healthcare, poor drug cycles, all these different things, but you get people who cross that sexual harassment line. You know, whether it be male to female, which is probably the most likely, whether it be male to male, whether it be female to male, that line gets crossed and there's no repercussions, and that's because there's no fucking body, governing body or qualification system. And
there's no one to. There's no one to go to.
What happens?
There's no one to complain
apart
to.
from the police.
There's no. Yeah.
No,
apart
there's
from police.
no. What's the word I'm looking for? That like my old man, like when they strike a union. There's no union really, is there, within the sort of the fitness industry?
Yeah, and I think that's dangerous.
That's why it's important for us individuals to speak up about it. And I think her name was Rebecca. She made a very good point about it. She said you can't just let it go. If you're in the fitness industry and you're aware this is happening, you can't just let that go.
Paige.
Shout
out Paige, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
big
It's,
up,
it's
man.
Paige
It's even
_
hard-
Rebecca or
Bro,
something.
imagine
like
how
that.
hard it is for fucking females, especially the bodybuilding girls that are like they just have to keep stum, and that's
Yeah.
not even a guarantee. You sleep with a fucking head judge or you're linked in some, and there's no definitive right. You've done that dirty deed, and now you've got. But it's not even that. It's horrific. It's absolutely fucking dreadful.
Yeah.
I
I
can't
would,
stand it.
I would be really interested in like a future episode to actually get her on. I know we want to start talking to people. I think that would be a
100%.
very
Paige,
interesting
reach out.
episode.
100%. But the
Because I've kind of seen it crop up a few times over the last couple of years, and I'm pretty sure, as far as it goes, she is like the gatekeeper for girls go to her and tell her, and then she outs them, which is like fair enough. man.
Fantastic.
Like, big up. I rate that a lot because, like you say, you don't really know the true repercussions. of
No.
that. I was seeing on her post yesterday something about lawyers. I've spoken to someone else last night. This was actually a guy who was telling me that he received a voicemail from this person, the same person in question we're talking about now, threatening him about taking the piss out of his brand, basically. Why are we even... I don't need to protect him, do I? Raw Sports
to fucking
Nutrition.
protect no one.
Raw Sports Nutrition we are talking about here. I don't know the guy's name. I don't think anyone does. I think he's
It's got
anonymous.
many pseudonyms.
Yeah.
The
pseudonym.
Instagram's been locked off now, isn't it? Okay.
No. I found it earlier. It's fine.
Oh, they just switched up. No, but this is the issue again. The fact that there's no repercussions of these actions, these people can go underground for a few months and then they creep back up and everything's forgotten.
And that's what we see happens with some online coaches. And I wouldn't need to sit here and point fingers, but there's been many stories come out about online coaches crossing that boundary because there's no two ways about it. We send partially nude photos to each other for us to look at physically, right? You can see where the boundary gets a little bit blurry, and people often overstep that. And when you see that happens, there's a big uproar. You get some clients leave. You get some people who are loyal to you and don't believe what X, Y, and Z. And then now no one's talking about it, and I know the dude is absolutely fine, and if nothing's happened, his business is still killing it.
The guy just won the British title, didn't he?
I know. And what sort of message does that send?
Well, it's
Imagine if you were a female on the receiving end to that, and then you see him now being this poster boy,
And glorified.
put on a fucking pedestal. Oh, he's amazing, and you know it just degraded and fucking. It's I hate it.
Do you know what? I have thought about this actually. I remember when Sean Roden basically got like disgraced.
Yeah.
That was about rape, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
now he's gone, and I don't actually think that was ever proven. But the fact was, he was made to. You're not allowed to compete at the Olympic because you're under investigation.
Yeah.
Part of me, I've wanted this a lot, and I worry about it. Like, how high up does it go? Because unfortunately, the whole industry, I can sit here as a competitor and say, when I get to a show on show day, I'm in my whatever, not wearing much, whatever. There's girls walking around with their tits out. I could not care less. Like,
I'm not
it's
thinking
the
about
most least.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? It's bottom of my pile. But there's a lot of people there that have never competed before. They're not hypercaloric. They've got their camera out.
Yeah.
And therefore, they probably do sexualize it a lot.
100%.
And there's a page, I don't want to go too far with this, but there's a page that is literally endorsed by the highest, body of bodybuilding. That is literally like soft porn. I see it on my Instagram all the time, and I think this is a bit weird. So it worries me how high it goes.
But you take it outside of bodybuilding, you see the amount, especially with the issue that's going on with the police at the moment, and how just these amount of cases that are just getting completely thrown on the carpet and washed away, and it's not just bodybuilding that this is happening. It's the whole fucking world that these women are having to feel that on a daily basis. It's awful. But yeah, no, you're quite right about how high up does it go. I never thought about it like that. But now you put it about
it's high, to the untrained eye. It's highly sexual. I don't see it as that.
Yeah,
I find it a bit weird. 'Cause I'm like,
well, maybe we're just normal. Even when I go to a show and I'm in a surplus, I'm going to see.
It's a physique,
Josh.
right? You're looking at.
Yeah,
a physique,
I'm going to see Josh. I couldn't really.
Yeah.
I don't really. My mind doesn't work that way.
No.
I appreciate it. Oh my God, I'm not like some sort of stone wall. Like, ooh, I go amazing, but I don't think we'll get the camera out.
Yeah.
4K that.
Yeah.
I think it's really important for anyone listening to this, if you've ever been in a scenario where like you have felt that's a bit weird. It shouldn't feel weird.
No.
I don't think I've ever had a coaching experience where, like, don't get me wrong, odd experiences happen, but nothing where it feels weird where you're like, I think you're crossing the line. That should never happen in any scenario, no matter how much you idolize the person, no matter how safe you feel under that person. You should never be felt to be like, should you be asking me that? Right? If you don't understand the sport, then I can understand why you're asking for I need to see you from the back, right? That's a safe thing to say. But if the guy's saying, right, I need to see more skin, I need to wear a thong, I need you to wear a G-string, I need you to do this, like, you probably definitely don't need to be doing that.
No.
So just like be very wary of what people are asking you.
No, it's like checking pictures for non-competitors with like glutes out. It's like, look, you're coaching Gen Pop clients. You don't need to get your ass out, mate.
And if you have done it and you feel uncomfortable about it, speak up and tell someone, because it's really, really important that these types of people get caught and get outed, and because they're tarnishing our industry, which we kind of want to preserve because we haven't got a body. We have to be the body ourselves.
Yeah.
We have to be the voice because no one else can.
Well, it's hard
can
for
step
others as
in.
well. I remember the fact that these issues have the simple task of just doing a client check-in and saying like, can we go to one side and go to the posing room? Even then, it's like I'm having to now forcibly keep doors open. I have to go into a room with someone else. It's like it is, maybe we should be doing that anyway. But it's the knock-on effect for us lot is tricky.
I think there needs to be like, because there is no governing body. Like you said, we have to govern ourselves. And I see there's two. They're not resolutions, but they plaster over the thing. It's like if someone does something wrong, and you feel it was a bit weird, cross the line a bit, you either pick it up there and then, or you speak to someone else that you trust. That's probably number one. If it's way over the line, you go to the police. It's that simple. Like, it's a crime. No one has any right to make any girl or boy, but let's face it, it's mostly girls, feel uncomfortable when they're paying for a service. This is what I really want to like wrap my head around. It's like, remember, I've always tried to say this. You, as a client, you are the boss.
Yeah.
Don't ever think that your coach is your boss. They might instruct you, or they're effectively a consultant. At any point, you can sack them. Just remember that. At any point, you can say, I'm cancelling my payment. I'm never paying you again. So I think that's really important to understand. And believe me, there's fucking loads of good coaches out there.
Yeah.
For God's sake, you're probably with a shit one if they're doing that, let's be honest. And then the other side of it is, well, I've already said, like, speak to someone, and then, like you said, out them, because we're going to have to self-regulate this. Yeah. So it's going to be a case of you need to speak to someone you trust and maybe get their guidance, but there should be someone that you can go and speak to who can help you out in this situation.
But then again, being devil's advocate, you also have to have some form of definitive, because with this current cancel culture that we're in, it's very easy to sort of muster up some outrageous story just to get someone shut off. There needs to be that level of like, right, this is quite a severe issue here. Yeah. We can't just be going like, I don't want people to come off the back of this podcast and start making things up and in hope that we're going to somehow start sharing things and causing, like, it needs to be, this has happened, you know.
Here's
and
the
then,
evidence.
Yeah, and then maybe we can just simply advise, or anyone else can simply advise and say, look, take this up with them, or take this up with the police. But yeah, it can't continue for much longer. And I'm hoping that our presence can help stamp it out a little bit more.
Yeah, I feel like there's got to be there's probably going to be a lot of people who are pretty afraid to even say anything. I know for me, like I've been in coaching relationships where I probably wouldn't dare to question them or ask too many questions in case I like offended them. So if I've took that same mentality within a, you know, like a subordinate role, like a coach client thing, and things start to cross, like it's very, very challenging to be able to just say something. So if you can confide in someone where it's not going to go public, no one's getting into trouble, and then that word can get to somewhere else and you don't have to get implicated, like there is a way to do that as well. So
it's
like,
a horrific mindset to be in. Almost, it's easier to keep stum. I was watching that horrific program of the female in Medway, where she had this possessive boyfriend and he killed her in the car park, and like her family was saying that it was just, she kept saying it's easier for me to stay in this. Yeah, it's just, it's absolutely horrific. But yeah, you're quite right, Josh.
I think the other part, what you just touched on as well, Tom, is the like that duty of care from the good coaches to demonstrate what it should look like.
Yeah.
This is what good looks like. Like coming from like a corporate background, like that's how companies like regulate themselves. Like, right, well, we didn't do this well, but like we did that well, so can we like learn from that? So if you're, as I said, if you think it's towing the line, go and find another coach who perhaps has got a lot of maybe female clients, maybe people you trust. Ask them what the service is like.
Yeah.
What are you getting from your coach? Does he ask you to do this? When you go and see him, is it just you two in a room? Should it be you two in a room? Because I would argue it probably shouldn't. It's a shame I have to say that, but it's that kind of chicken and egg thing. It's like, if I was a female and I felt like I was remotely going to be uncomfortable, I'd say, oh, can I bring my friend with me or something like that, just to make sure there's someone else, on site, to make sure that you've got that level of like protection and safety.
I'm sure there was a website that went around a while back that I think someone tried to create some sort of like A to Z almost, like almost like a fucking Google review of coaches.
Yellow pages.
Yeah, like.
Oh, I've heard about that.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I've heard about that.
I mean,
I think I might have even been asked to go on it.
I think we've all spoken about it before. I think it's a really good idea. It's one of them ones that has to be adopted by everyone to.
Yeah.
It's also when things get anonymous like that.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't like this guy, I'm going to go give him a shit review. Like, competitors get involved.
Yeah, true.
If it's even that petty, like if people are that petty, but people will be.
Of course, but then it needs to go on whoever's created it to, if you want to create a username, you have to send in picture. You regulate that. It could easily be done. Do you know what I mean?
It's really funny we come on that topic. One of my first ever like ideas, which I've never ever put into fruition, was this thing called Destination Fitness, which was going to be like this sort of thing. There's going to be like it was going to be a yellow pages for coaches, for plans and things like that. A couple of years ago, I actually got approached by, I think it was a uni student. He was doing a project, and he asked me to jump on a call with him for about an hour, and he basically explained my idea back to me. And I was like, it's funny you say that.
What did you do, kill him?
Yeah. No.
Kill him?
I was like, that's a great
right
idea.
anymore.
I was like, unfortunately, I don't think it's quite going to take off because you need to get everyone on it. But I think it's a really, really good idea. And I wonder if that is maybe where it will go eventually.
It'd snowball. I think with our influence, I think it's something like that would snowball.
Yeah.
When look at, we've been coached by arguably one of the best coaches in the world at the moment, Mr. Ray Strick. So.
I mean, that's what I was going to say. Like, you were starting to get these, like, maybe not a body, but like a little cult within. Like, are you been on muscle medals? You know biomechanics. You know how to like how to do this. There's kind of that little thing within the industry now. It's like, oh, you're not taking more than 300 or 400 milligrams of test. You know about the multi pathway model and the safer use model. Do you know what I mean? There's like those little nods of like, right, you know what you're talking about. You're probably a sound guy to go to or girl to go to. So there are like little things like, do you watch Josh and Joe and Tom? You probably know what you're talking about. Like that type of thing.
I hope so.
Yeah. Fucking BBC Unite.
Well, it's nice we've now got that element whereby you two sort of run the bodybuilding side of things, and I'm the Joe Wicks. I'm the Joe Wicks of the group now.
He's our mainstream guy.
Yeah. I made a lovely little smoothie this morning. Did you see it?
I did.
Biscoff, banana, raspberries.
To be in a calorie deficit.
It's not, but like I think we were going to come on and start to discuss off season and the different kind of mechanisms that go into off seasons for Gen Pop lifestyle clients and for you two. But it's very nice to be in this position at the moment when it comes down to food. Like I said to you last week, I'm in a position now whereby I've gone from having to slam down 5,000 calories to looking at my watch and go, oh fuck, I actually need to eat today, because I can easily just run on a cookie and a cup of coffee.
Mindset.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's really enjoyable.
I think it's a feeling a lot of bodybuilders long for,
Yeah.
but we're never going to have it until I'm done.
No.
At any point, am I going to be
Yeah.
just eating what I want?
I mean,
Maybe a couple of weeks here and there.
didn't you answer a question the other day about when you think you'll be done with this?
I said if I'm not knocking on the door of the Olympia in 2 years, I'm done.
In 2 years. Is that 2? Okay, yeah.
But like, I'm not saying like, let's say, right, I go this year, maybe I get a top 10.
Mm-hmm.
All right, probably not very happy with that, but all right, cool. If it's a top 5, then cool. If next year I get a top 10 again and I don't necessarily improve, I'd be like,
Yeah.
I might be done.
Oh, I completely resonate with the mindset, but I just need to say from what I learned this year, like there's just so much that bloody impacts it. That I think for us, I think it's so hard over here. As I said to you, in America, it's like Sunday football. They turn up week in, week out, flying state to state for 30 quid, and just keep going. And I think I've seen. What did we see? We saw it over the last 2 weeks. We saw that guy Alessandro. He didn't even get second call out, and he had a little disappointed post.
Came third call outs.
Comes back next week and beats Andre Dieu.
I noticed that when I went out to Texas and saw their just frequency of shows.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And like the
every weekend.
And at the almost like basketball, like the excitement. So, this Saturday I'm going to, because we with Flex Level Gym and Eric Lee Salazar. Shout out to Eric, man. He's fucking crazy little physique. You've seen that guy? Just the maddest arms on him, man. But like they're just the shows, the sheer amount of shows, and I'm like, and they seem to hold condition, and there's no like, we went out for a Mexican and he was eating food, and I was just a bit like, have we just like gone into some mad hyper like tracking every variable and and is the relaxed approach over there slightly better, or it just starts to blow your fucking mind with the amount of shows they do?
Yeah, it's crazy. I think the weekly diazide use helps.
Yeah,
helps induce fucking kidney disease.
Good job.
I am still of the personal opinion that the cream will rise to the crop, and if I'm going to be in the cream, I'm going to be within it within 2 years for me. Like size wise, looking where I'm at physically, I need a little bit, but like shape wise, if it's going to be there, it's going to show within a couple of years personally.
Yeah,
and you know what? If it's a 5th next year, 2023, that might keep my interest for another year. And then if I go and it's 3rd, it might be another year. So it might not be 2 years. But if it's improving, it's there. But if I'm going backwards or not improving, then I'm of the impression that I'm not built to get that big or look that good.
What about that sort of flirtation with classic though? What does that mean? 2023? Does that mean 2023 MPD or 2023 bodybuilding?
I don't know. I don't know if I struggle. I would struggle to bodybuild at a competitive level if I didn't think I could be the best in the world or flirting with the top in the world. So I would have to get to that point and be like, look at myself physically, and I'm like, you know what? There are some shots in classic I'm like, that could flirt with the best in the world. Yeah. And then I see other ones, I'm like, there's so much work to do there. So I'm like, it's hard for me to commit to that.
Yeah.
So if I ever got to the point where I was like, I could do it, but I don't think it's realistic, I'd probably be more inclined to stop because of what I'm doing to myself.
It's a good way to look at it. So what sort of time frame are we looking at before we can go on the assault bike together? A couple of years?
Yeah.
A bit lonely doing them.
What is it, 2020?
Mid-30s?
Mid-30s. Fucking hell. I can wait that long. I'm patient. I'd love to see you two on them battle ropes and the kettlebell swings.
I actually am a big fan of the assault bike. Fuck that battle rope.
You went through a little phase of doing.
Yeah, I always do.
How long would Joe last on the CrossFit?
I'd wake up
every post-show phase. I'm like, I could do with being a bit more functional. And then I do a little circuit.
Pretty sure it was about
for a week.
3 days. Yeah.
And then you remember you can press 70 kilo dumbbells. Like, I want to do that.
Because I woke up and. Just the sheer size of you, I suppose. I used to look at your calories burned in your session and think, oh my God, that's insane. Because I find it hard at this weight to push sort of 300. And you
I was burning thousands.
You were doing like 725. And I thought, what?
Yeah, I used to fuck myself up. I remember after I did that, I was making up my own little circuits. I remember finishing one thinking, I'm fucked.
That's all it is, mate. All it is just made up on the spot anyway. There's no real calculation to that sort of style of training. As much as people want to claim it is, it's not.
I really admire CrossFit.
Oh, so
yeah, it's unreal.
I think the physiques are unbelievable.
In another life, I would do that 100%.
Yeah.
I think from a just like, and the way they do it is so fucking cool, man.
Yeah, it's
they just throw like, you know what? This time we're not going to go run around a track. We're going to go running around the woods, like, and you got to carry this bag with you. I'm like, that's just sick. Like, it's all terrain.
Yeah,
it really is like the fittest person in the world. I feel like.
Some people, I find a lot, or quite often, people will like make a comment or something, say something like almost like slag off CrossFit to me and expect me to be like, oh yeah, good one, mate. I think it's better than bodybuilding,
Yeah,
to be honest.
yeah.
Like, I'm never
On the
gonna do
competitive
it.
level because you
Yeah.
can compete every weekend as well.
It's crazy. It's unreal.
It's cool, and like you've got to be strong,
Mm.
you've got to be flexible, you've got to be mobile, you've got to you've got to do your Olympic lifts, you've got to have your technical, you've got to be able to do a handstand,
It's hard to
you've got
kill.
to be able to swim, you've got to be hard to kill.
It's unreal.
It's
Yeah, no,
fucking-
I feel like it's getting cooler as well. I
it
feel
definitely is. It's being adopted. in the
like it's
mainstream.
making me want to get a Garmin watch. You know what I mean? It's making me want to go, fuck Apple.
Nah.
I'm Garmin now. Because I want to start swimming again. And I think you can track calories burned on the Garmin while
It's like
swimming.
Lewisham Leisure Centre.
No, not, I can't go back to Lucia.
You can track swimming calories on Apple Watch.
Can you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do the little boop 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 thing to
Yeah,
Ah.
eject the water.
Blocks.
Oh,
the water.
really?
Yeah.
No, sorry, Apple. I didn't mean that.
If you wanted to sponsor us, sorry, you didn't say that.
Yeah, no.
He's never going
I need to think about getting myself a Christmas present this Christmas. There's always one thing, isn't there?
What are you thinking?
Yeah, a Garmin watch.
Oh, a Garmin watch.
Or like a record player or something. Or
Oh, record.
An old school one.
Yeah.
You can get some real nice old school ones.
yeah.
Record players are cool. I think they're fucking pointless, but they're cool.
No, they're not pointless. Why?
It's like, well, to me, it's like art, kind of. Like,
Yeah.
I'm never going to spend loads of money on a piece of art when I can go on Decinio and get a nice print that I like the look of.
True.
I can listen to any music I like on Spotify.
True.
How
But
many
it just
times better
looks
as
good,
well?
huh?
Yeah, it looks good.
People come around and you
Does
think,
look
this
good.
guy's...
Get a little cigar cabinet.
Yeah,
What's
yeah.
that,
Whisk-
limited
Look at this
edition?
distinguished gentleman
yeah,
Because some
yeah.
albums only come out on record. You know that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
on vinyl.
until they get ripped onto Spotify.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's good.
Yeah, record
Good.
player, Garmin watch. Trying to be like less...
Is that what you do? Is you get yourself a present every year?
Yeah. I think it's good to,
It's-
like, I work hard, good coaching drop, and then
Yeah.
treat myself. See how we get on. Or just do holidays.
Yeah, that's me. I do my holidays.
Invest in experiences, guys,
Mm-hmm.
not material goods.
Yeah,
It's important.
at a 5-star hotel.
Yeah. $3,000 a night in Mykonos. It's all about the experience. Do we have some questions?
Yeah,
We have, but we've got, I feel like we've still got quite a while. There'll be a lot of questions to go through.
yeah. We can
Unless we
I
hammer
thought we
them
were
in
going to
detail.
come up from the angle of just choosing one question and
just
expanded on it.
I got a lot of stupid questions, as you can imagine. The ones like,
What did you put? If you could
who
ask
would
these?
win in an arm wrestle?
Yeah, it's stupid. I would.
And
We should just do an hour and a half podcast on the biomechanics.
quite a few people asked this question, which I think we might as well dive into. How did we meet? And as a part two, how did we meet? And did we ever imagine we'd have this level of? Did we ever imagine we'd have this level of influence that we do?
Domination.
We all met separately. I honestly literally fanboyed Tom. Like, that's the honest truth. Is I fanboyed Tom. I went, I'm gonna fucking train with this guy. He's on my level, yes. Like, obviously with different people, but I knew that he was on my wavelength. So I used to just like drop him a few comments. I think I had maybe 4,000 or 5,000 YouTube subscribers.
Yeah, I remember.
You
the profile picture.
maybe just 15, 18 maybe. And I used to think, yeah, I'll train with him, that'd be cool. And I used to drop back a little DM. He would reply, I'd be like, cool. You got a cool reply. So I could see that he was flippant with his replies sometimes with some
Yeah,
people,
yeah.
and I thought he wasn't flippant with me. So that was my in. And I said, yo, let's get a session sometime. He said, yeah, cool.
Came around my house, didn't you?
Yeah, literally came to your house.
Yeah, came to my
We
house.
trained at King's.
Yeah.
And
Those come up on my recommended a lot, those videos.
yeah, they do well. They've got some good videos on them, good views. That's how I met Tom. Me and Joe met at the Arnold Classic in Barcelona.
I actually think I'm going to tell it from my side of the story of Josh.
Yeah.
First time I saw Josh was at Mass in Leicester when I was in.
When I was competing?
I was in the second year of uni.
The one I won.
Yeah, no,
The first one I
Matt
lost.
Salis won,
Okay, yeah.
and
That's the
I
first
saw
one.
you up there. I saw Matt Salis, and I was like, "Oh, this is quite cool." I'd gone there with a sponsor. Weirdly enough, I was with Way Hey Ice Cream.
Oh, mate, they sponsored me as well after.
Mad.
You sponsor a way how
Well, I wasn't.
Yeah, for ages.
I wasn't really sponsored. I kind of worked. I basically interned for them
Right.
just before I went off to uni, and they were having a stand there, so I went there and like manned it.
They still going?
Yeah,
Yeah, they're still going. They're
Really?
in some supermarkets now.
Way hey. What's the brand look like? Oh, I know
Like
exactly.
pink?
what
Like
you-
pink,
yeah,
pink.
yeah, I know exactly.
yeah, it's good product that was, and then yeah, so I saw Josh. I think I might have followed him already, but if not, then I followed him then, and then followed for ages because you were always ahead of me in terms of competing. Like you were always like, I remember you were doing the men's when I was doing the juniors.
How old are you? 28?
I'm 28.
I'm 29 this year.
But yeah, so you were always like ahead of me, and always got way more shredded than I did.
You were too busy doing those weird walk-ins, mate. Remember that video? When you just,
Weird walking.
no, the video that you posted the other day when you was younger.
Oh,
Trying
yeah.
to pose.
Yeah.
Some mad shit.
Yeah, no.
Just some mad shit, man. Charlie from Busted on a mad.
I was the same.
Mine were bad. But yeah, and then yeah, I just remember sort of you kind of were inspiration for me because like I said, you were ahead. I was like, oh, he's doing men's, I'm doing juniors. And then we met at the Arnolds because you were doing men's Arnolds.
2016, I think.
Juniors. That's a funny story in itself. I remember didn't know I'd qualify for that, and then they told me 8 weeks out, and I'd been on a holiday and like fucking gone ham. I had to lose so much weight in 8 weeks, and I just wasn't shredded at all. And then I fucked up my peak. I think I tried to do something with salt, and I was like, oh God, this is terrible.
As a little natural boy as well.
Yeah.
Load the salt and I'll get massive.
But yeah, and then yeah, we've been connected since then. We've trained a couple of times, and I think I knew about Tom because of you. Is there any other ginger steroid users on YouTube in England like you were maybe like 5 years ago?
Finbar. You remember fucking
Finbar
Finbar?
Fitness.
Do you remember that
Yeah, I
cunt?
do, yeah.
So many people used to comment on mine and Tom's videos saying Finbar. I'm like, what are you
Mind
on about?
blowing, yeah.
He-
No, I don't think it was.
Then I found you, but didn't really like invest in it
Didn't
too
like
much.
me.
No, I didn't like you. I just didn't invest in it. I don't think I was ready for the anabolic journey. And then obviously I saw YouTube become closer, and then.
So I thought I've got to get in there now.
No, not really. I was like, yeah, this guy's fucking well funny, to be fair. Like, good value. And then you finally invested in me just before I won a pro card, didn't you?
Yeah.
I got the coveted follow. I think you only followed 20. So I've lost it now, so it fucking means absolutely nothing.
I don't need to follow you two boys.
I just feel like Tom's not been following anyone for months.
No, last episode I said I followed 0.
And now he follows 10 people, of which we are not 2.
No,
And he has his own business,
just business.
and we're sat here doing a business together.
By the way, if anyone wants to sponsor this podcast,
yeah. Message Tom and he'll send a carrier pigeon to us.
Yeah, it's quite nice receiving emails from Joe.
Yeah. Hi, mate. How are you? I haven't spoken to you in a while.
yours sincerely.
Yeah, no, it's good.
But yeah, no, yeah,
nice.
you got invested in the pro card journey, didn't you? And
Yeah,
then-
I don't.
So you just followed him. You just probably saw him doing the rounds on like what with LRF and whatnot.
Yeah, I think so. I can't remember. I really want to research what point it was that I'd really got involved.
I think it was literally just before I won. Like it was probably in the few weeks. There was a couple of weeks gap between my first class win and my pro card win. And I think you followed me after Spain. You knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
You knew. You
Were
sensed
you,
it.
were you well chuffed?
I was fucking buzzing. I'm absolutely over the moon. I was.
Oh, I remember
With
it as
what?
well.
With you following
Oh,
and
right,
being
stop
invested.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I remember connecting to the Wi-Fi in Bromley Clay Shopping Centre and getting really angry because the guy was taking ages. I said, my fucking mate's about doing his pro car. Can you hurry up? And then I got really, and then because I think I told you to vlog, didn't I?
Yeah.
I was like,
I
'cause
remember you
I saw a lot of potential in you.
Yeah.
Saw a lot of potential in you, so I was like, you've got to vlog. You're like, I don't know, I'm not very good behind the camera and that. I said, no, people want to invest in the journey, Joe,
Yeah, that's it.
like me. And is that your best vlog?
It's got 15,000. It's not my best, but I've got that weird one that bucked the algorithm about not
Oh,
squatting.
I
That's got
know.
like
Oh, yeah.
100,000. But yeah, it's definitely up there. One of the best. 15k. It's my favourite. I will
my-
look back on that when I'm like 50.
Yeah.
So
and
worth
that-
it. That's why it's so worth it.
Mhm.
Those little moments on YouTube, man.
If it had
Yeah.
no views, I wouldn't give a shit because
Imagine-
literally.
Imagine when you're like 40 or 50 and you go back. You're like, I remember I went to Nick
Yeah, I
and
used to
someone
do all that.
said, oh, look at the video.
My favourite vlog, everything, but like the whole journey there in the morning and the cab.
Yeah, you could feel the tension. Just
And then this like mass gifted onslaught of like protein bars from who did you stay with?
Lars.
Oh, yeah.
Lars,
Legends.
what a legend!
Man,
that
like-
shout out Lars.
Shout out
Absolute
Lars. It wouldn't have happened without him. He let me stay in his house and all sorts.
he's the sort of guy that you can look at in clothes and think he's got a mental physique, isn't he? He's so wide,
It's huge. Big guy.
and he's got a cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Baloo. Weird cat. Nice cat though.
Yeah, I remember you. Yeah, you look so different, man. When you woke up on that show morning.
No.
That long hair.
Yeah, long hair.
I love that look. So then, you guys became friends like that
Yeah, we became friends quite quick. I
because
said,
we were friends. I knew these guys were like becoming friends. We were like, oh, let's all. I don't think we all just went, let's train. Was the first time we trained the picture that you put up on your story today?
Do you know what? Funny enough, I watched that. I watched that
Leg day.
the 60-second like trailer for it yesterday. I was going to send it to you. I don't know why I
Story.
didn't. The one that Andy.
muscle work.
You'd know. if
Andy
you followed. Yeah,
More than
when we met at Muscle Works.
I do check in on you two boys. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
like,
you
No, I know you do. I'm
I
joking.
look at your stories and that.
I'm just poking
I
fun.
just sort of cherry pick when I want to see you. That's
Yeah.
quite nice like that, I think.
You might miss some vital.
I think that was a Siri that filmed it.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Oh,
And it was like a
And
5-minute fucking.
You had like the balloon face, man. You had the most.
Yeah.
I turned up.
I think I was
and
using Decker at the time. Or
Yeah, you
MPP.
like even your like the this was big. I was like, I rocked up and I was like, "You right?"
growth and MPP, mate.
Jesus, that's deadly. Innit? Growth and MPP. Wow,
Yeah, it was just that. And now I'm about 10 kilos heavier than that. I'm not as bad.
man, it's so crazy that.
Yeah, that is well
That-
funny
that-
actually.
That is mad. But yeah, that was our first.
Yeah, that's how we met.
Works.
And it went off like a
It
a
went-
big bang. That
It was like
a real
that's when
video.
there was like 1,000 people like watching it live and shit.
Mm,
Like 1,000 people.
I know.
I know, appreciate guys with fucking little specks on people's like testicles who are up in the millions.
Yeah.
But 1,000 people. I think the way I think about it is like I look at people who view my videos. You got 10,000 views. Imagine filling the stadium with 10,000 people.
Mm. Well,
then we went to watch it.
Wimbledon's 80k, so like, yeah,
Crazy shit.
it is mad. What's there's a you know what clip I watch a lot of you guys when you screamed on that leg press. Remember that one? I'm like on your
Yes.
shoulders.
Oh yeah.
You're absolutely. I
was
like
a
it's
rest
just
program.
so motivational.
One of them ones that like hit like comes inside of you. Yeah, I
yeah.
thought I was about to die. To be fair, that was literally my best leg press set I've ever done.
Yeah, you've sort of mastered the leg press, haven't
Yeah,
you?
fuck.
Annoyingly.
Because we're all
We'll see.
we're all within kicking distance. Even Tom, we're in kicking distance. You know, we're always like this.
Yeah,
You know, we're always in tandem. No one like gets too far ahead, and then Joe gets on a leg press,
yeah, and it's just.
and it's like 3 or 4 plates more than what I'm
game over,
doing.
Yeah,
And
I
was-
remember that. Yeah, that was. I
I was just
put another-
baffled.
put another one on.
but that just literally.
And he's like, "You put that one away." His dick just goes what?
yeah. I mean, but that just go to show about the importance of if you want to get fucking strong in one area, then because that's all you had, right? You just had a leg press at that gym box, and then
Well, it was more the injury. So people always ask me,
Oh,
how do
yeah.
I build my legs with a shit back? And obviously I had a shit back for years, so I never loaded my spine. So it was literally leg extension and leg press.
Mm.
So I had to get fucking good at it. So I did. But it's funny, isn't it? Because we speak about the adductor thing, and that's
Yeah.
where I'm.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah, you just
behind.
drop
I've
off.
got no adductors.
Yeah, it's so true.
Crazy. And you spoke about football, didn't you? You said that it might be down to football.
I
Like a
think
lot
so.
of
It's
twists
just
and turns and that. And
rugby, just side.
100%.
But my legs have always chafed though.
weirdly
Probably
enough,
just-
it's one of the whenever you get peeled and you do your checking votes, it's like the first thing. My eyes
Yeah,
just
it's
drawn. to
grim
that,
though.
so-
Yeah, from the back it looks ridiculous.
Oh, he's showing us
Yeah,
his
yeah.
back.
Shame it's not fucking something cool. Like
No, I think it is.
look
I
at
think
his
it,
chest and look at his
No, I think
smaller
it's
thighs.
so
I put
cool.
shorts on.
Oh, I think that is genuinely one of the coolest body parts.
Yeah, I think it's unreal.
Mass adductors.
I've barely trained them this year, so I hope they haven't gone.
Muscle memory. The second part of that question was: Did you ever see that you'd have the influence that you have now? Which I think is an interesting point.
Great question. That.
I think it's. You know what? I'll be honest. I think it's quite hard to feel the influence until we go to like when me and Tom
Yeah.
went to Body Power.
Arnold?
The Arnolds.
That was a big one for me.
Then you kind of think, whoa, like this was 4 or 5 hours, non-stop, talking to one after the other, after the other, after the other, and you think, well, you really actually had an amazing impact. Like it was quite emotional. I don't know how it was for you, Tom, but there were times where I was like choked up, thinking, wow, this guy's like laid his whole life on the line.
Yeah.
Said like, you've done this for me, and I'm like, whoa, this is.
Yeah,
And when it's someone who's not just a 17-year-old kid, because you hear it from the 17-year-old kid, it's incredible. You hear it from a 25-year-old kid, you're like, wow. And then you start hearing a 30-year-old, then you hear a 40-year-old, and then you see a 50-year-old
Yeah.
come up and he's like, yeah, I follow, and you're like, we're literally, I don't know, it's a bit of a dream come true for me. I don't think I ever think I'll be at this
Yeah,
point.
it hit me hard at the Arnold when we went to just simply collect our tickets, and then it was just
I just
a
couldn't.
wave, and that was us on social media actively saying we're not there on Friday.
Yeah.
So it's almost like, well, if you are going to come, then we are there on Saturday. The fact that we said that we're not there on Friday, we'll see you on Saturday, and then just peering to the right and just seeing that queue up to, I just thought, well, that's incredible, man. So yeah, it's times like that when you sort of notice it. But then if you were to collate all of the sort of comments that you get on a daily basis from DMs, you know, like, oh mate, I'm going through a really low patch at the moment, and you think, fucking hell, man, like but you're almost like this beacon of fucking hope for someone. And I'd never ever in a million years would think that when I got my PT qualification or when I was working in GNT or being a videographer that I would be a source of like motivation
it's
and
mad.
someone to come to if they're suffering from any sort of mental health conditions or, you know, because he's wild. But yeah, in terms of like us three as an influence, no, you don't really do. You just meet up and start.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm quite there yet. I think Arnold's was an eye opener for me, but I wasn't blown away. Like I find it still weird that I go into gyms and people like point me out or come to speak to me. Like, I find that like a bit weird still. Arnold's, there was no point. There might have been a queue of 1 or 2 people, but I didn't have a fucking queue down the hall. But it was an eye opener for me because that was the first sort of public place where I've been. I was like, oh, people do know who I am, which is quite cool. I think like the comments thing is one of the weird ones. You don't really think about it too much.
That's
and then
what I was going to say,
every now and again I go back to my sort of like peak prep pictures and I look at all the comments because at the time you don't. I bet have you been back to your pro card posts?
Yeah,
like read them and you're like, wow,
hundreds.
it's like it's unreal, and that makes me like choke up a bit when I see that. But I don't know if I feel the influence I have. I feel it.
So it's hard.
As us, like I feel like we could have an influence, but I think that's like the whole part of it is I'm always looking forward. Like, I think this is great, but what's 50k going to look like for me, or 100k going to look like for you? And
I think that's the best
so
mindset to stay
I'm
in.
always looking forward, and that's probably my biggest strength, but my biggest weakness as well, because it means I never look back to be like, you've done all right here. So
No, I think it's the best mindset to have. Is that almost just continue to stay humble at the fact that there's more to give. I don't think you should ever be. I think once you start to sort of almost feel like, not that you've completed it or be comfortable, but once you start to have that sort of almost arrogant approach, like never get to a position whereby someone comments on my YouTube and I ignore it. They're either getting a like or they're getting a comment back.
Yeah,
I don't care if I've got 50k, 100k, or 500k followers. Someone's, because they put us in that position, right? All the people that come to the Insight use our codes for commission, and
you put food on my table, bro.
You literally put food on my table. You put food on my table, and that Arnold's in particular was wild.
Yeah. I mean, the thing I'm most proud of is just us three is like, I don't think we've had to compromise.
No,
we're on our morals, on who we are.
Yeah. At
any point of this journey, and that's been the most proud thing for me because we do things and talk about things and say things that not companies don't like, and you know. We've always stayed true. Maybe that's hindered our growth. Maybe that's hindered our opportunities. But we've always managed to stay true to it and still come out. You know.
Yeah, and I think brands are now seeing that.
Now it's the thing. Right?
I think brands are now going, you know what? That element of relatability and realness is what's required. We can't have individuals that, you know, are almost portraying this hyper clean lifestyle that's not real. Because it's not relatable, right? Like people, you can't put those people on a pedestal and act like everyone around it is going to be that individual. So yeah, it's nice to see brands reaching out now. It really is. It's fantastic.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think I'm more excited for the influence than seeing the influence now. But I recognise that we need this to happen.
We can pause.
We'll be BRB, guys. 2 seconds.
This one's an interesting one.
Go for it.
Yeah, let's go.
Right. Would you each consider yourselves alpha, and how do you not clash over who's more alpha?
What would the definition of being alpha be?
I think you're the most alpha.
Really?
Out of us three. I think I'm more of like a pacifier.
Don't know how I feel about that.
And we spoke before. Josh is
that
definitely.
Or not?
I don't know. What
is
the definition of an alpha?
Well, I think it's the typical alpha. You know, like big dick energy type. You know what I mean? Very easy to get a bit carried away, easy to go off on someone. The one that maybe needs pulling back a bit every now and again. That's
yeah.
you.
I don't know if that. Wouldn't consider that as alpha. I just consider it as fucking free spirited. Like I'm not tied down to any like. I'm not gonna refrain from saying something.
See, I see alpha as like let's say in a room full of people. That guy who's like, yo, I'm here. I'm taking control.
That's not.
And I don't think that's you.
Honestly,
I think you're the opposite of that.
You put me in a room, like even the induction the other day. Oh my God, I'm so introverted. Don't talk to me.
But I think it's about where you're comfortable though, because I'm the same. Like, but I think that's a product of what we do. Because I still feel a bit like self-conscious about in the fitness industry. I've said this actually when I was at the Arnold's. I've never felt so at home. I was surrounded by all these people that I know either don't know who the fuck I am, but maybe respect me because of how I look, or know who I am, know the journey and respect that, or do know who I am and, you know, understand me. So I felt so at home, and I felt therefore quite confident at the Arnold's. I don't normally feel like that in public places. I normally feel a bit like, you know, like sort of cover up sort of thing, which is a bit weird, I think. But I don't know then. Yeah, you raise a good point. What in a room full of What about in a room full of like-minded individuals?
Yeah, still. I speak when I've spoken to. You know what I mean? I'm not, even we go out with my lot, with my boys, I'm like, I'm not the loud one, you know.
Fair.
I still chime in, like, you know, I've got a bit of banter, but I'm not, I can't do it.
Yeah.
I go, you know, back in school, if it was ever like, Tom, what's the answer? Bright red.
Yeah, and the same. But
Bright fucking red, man. Just like, get away from me.
I wouldn't be surprised whether that's why, for me anyway, and maybe Tom and maybe Joe, I'll speak for myself anyway, like, I can express myself a little bit better on social media.
Yeah.
Because, like, it's just me and my boys and some cameras. Like, you guys are watching, but it doesn't feel like you're watching.
No.
So I can open up a little bit more. But when it's in
Yeah.
public, I'm a bit like, oh.
Yeah.
It's hard to describe how you describe Alpha, really.
Yeah.
Like, we're all just fucking sick cunts.
What
That's
do you
we are.
think that? What answer do you think the public would want from that?
I
think-
Take it on
I
social
reckon-
media,
Yeah, I
Tom.
reckon they probably say me.
Right.
But,
But in reality,
yeah, I reckon they
It's
say me
me.
just because of like outlandish references to fucking drugs and whatnot.
You got that persona.
But like, it's not me. I'm not trying to force create some sort of alpha type.
no.
I don't think we care too much
No.
about who what the
I
Alpha is.
would say I've honestly never thought about that in my life.
Yeah, that's what I was
Right. I suppose it's a good thing. I don't want to wake up and go, "Oh, I'm alpha today," or don't feel very
Imagine that.
alpha.
Wake up and it's like,
Mate,
Days alpha.
I'm like doing wholesome things with you on a Saturday. Like, I'm choosing out throws to match my pillows.
I think that is like alpha behaviour though.
What?
No, let me finish.
I can't. I know.
in the way of being like absolutely
I just
comfortable
don't
and
give a
confident in
fuck.
who
Right,
you are.
This is
okay.
me.
And I think
This is
I'm the same as well. Because
way
like,
heart in the sleeve.
you know, I got someone asked me the other day. They said, it's not politically correct, so I'm not going to say what they actually said. They said, "What's the softest thing that you do?" And I'll be more than happy to like, and that you would say that they are completely like beta things to do, but like, I absolutely love Justin Bieber. I've got no issue with sitting and have a good cry to a film.
Mm.
Yeah.
All these things that are like non-alpha,
Same.
but I'll fucking own that. So
Yeah.
I think in a weird way, that's
That's
like,
it. Yeah, I know what
I
you
mean, that's what I was getting at.
It's like the modern Alpha.
The modern alpha.
Modern
yeah,
alpha, yeah. I quite like that. I'm happy to be stamped with the modern alpha.
I think we're all modern Alpha.
Yeah,
MA.
but not like typical American boy alpha.
Oh yeah, like in everyone's face.
Yeah,
yeah.
no.
I don't think any of us are like that.
No,
I'd hope not. Anyway, I don't know.
it's interesting you say about that. I cried at James Bond.
Yeah, same.
Spoiler alert:
Yeah,
if
I
you're
was
listening to this, haven't seen it.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna tell them, but I got very upset. But my mate was
Stone Cold.
stone cold, which then forced me to go.
That's what I did. I went to watch it with my stepdad, and he's like a traditional man. Like his mum doesn't even cry, and he definitely doesn't cry. Or I've seen him cry once in my entire life. And I looked aside and I was like,
Yeah,
see my eyes just going.
but just,
Twitch it.
like it is so, and I think Daniel Craig's one of the best Bonds.
Yeah, he's unreal.
So
Yeah.
you're just seeing him stand there like that with these rockets coming, and I thought, no,
Yeah, I know.
James.
No, James.
No.
That's a good question. Who do you think is going to be their next Bond?
I fancy Idris.
I'd love Idris, man.
I just think he's got everything.
That'd rile up a few Brexiteers.
Yeah.
Imagine how many.
He ain't from round here.
Yeah, I know. I think he'd be absolutely.
He'd be the best.
So good.
He hit the Luther.
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
just
That, and that,
Exactly,
tie,
exactly.
that
it's
tie
basically
in.
Bond, isn't it?
Yeah, I think he'd be fantastic.
What I love.
But then there's talk of
Henry Cavill?
a female doing Bond.
Yeah, because there was 007 in it. I don't know how I feel about that. And now don't take this the wrong way.
No,
I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't know. I again had this conversation with someone the other day. James Bond.
Yeah,
It's not 007. It's James Bond.
yeah,
And like the
that's
books
the
were
man.
written
yeah.
Yeah.
with James as a man.
Fleming wrote it as James
As
Bond.
a male.
I think the woman in that one, in the one we've just seen, was fantastic. But like, give her her own show.
Yeah,
Exactly
precisely.
what I was going to say.
Don't
Precisely.
change it to like James
Make it a
Bond.
franchise or something.
And I think
Yeah.
that's what Daniel Craig said in one of those interviews, and the Sun just tried to plaster him as some sort of misogynistic prick, and it was just, no, he didn't say that. It's taken out of context. But
Rich coming.
I,
You've got to keep the icon of James Bond going.
yeah, of course, and that's nothing against the sisters, but yeah, it's got to, yeah. I think Driss would be amazing, mate.
Yeah,
Fellow
fantastic. mate.
gooner.
What else have we got? Oh, this is an interesting one, and one that we've also discussed a lot of times. Would you open a gym together with the eyes emoji?
I'd love to. I think we discussed it, haven't we? I'd love to more so create. Definitely a gym, but I think
A space.
a space would be the first. Yeah, would be the first option with expansion into a gym. I think if we
Like a space for this for example, the podcast, and then we can do some shoot shots, and then maybe there's some place where I can put my one-on-one stuff, and then maybe there's a place where we can do different things and open a gym. But I think that's hard. You know what I'd like to do? I'm gonna put this out there. I'd like to buy Muscleworks.
Muscleworks, the
Orpington.
All right.
If
John's selling.
I'd like to buy that, but I'd love to buy that place, and I'd love to turn it around, and I'd love to make it the place, and I'd like to put a load of studios upstairs instead of that shitty place upstairs. That's
Whereabouts when you say upstairs?
There's like all the physio rooms and
right,
like where the toilets are. Just literally strip all that out, and just restructure it all.
Creativity area. Fucking great, man.
And I think like that way I could just you can buy all the equipment outright that pretty much you'd want, and then you only need to buy like 4 or 5 pieces of equipment.
Yeah, I don't think there's much you could need to really add to Muscleworks. I think it's a phenomenal gym.
Yeah, and then the lighting's there, the colour scheme's there. You can like obviously put our own spin on it.
Yeah, the lighting in Muscleworks is Gigi loves it, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Gigi loves the lighting in Muscleworks.
Yeah, I think we've spoken about it before. Not like a gym, but somewhere that you could somewhere you could train, somewhere people could film.
It's one of the ones you bank.
It's almost a Gymshark lifting club, but with better equipment.
Exactly that. That'd be the perfect thing. I think we probably just need a bit more money under our belts to be able to just pay for a place like that.
Yeah, definitely. Or a big fat bank
in London.
Yeah,
that's the other thing. We discussed like where we are. We probably all want to settle around this area, or if we're going to be in England, it's going to be here, and space is expensive. Yeah, man.
Yeah. It is.
You pay as much for a house in Newcastle for a garage in London.
I know, it's mad, isn't it?
Which is gross.
It's mad. But then and then I also would like to turn that. Well, it's just nice to almost turn it into work, isn't it?
Imagine we had our own office.
Yeah.
Just do your own thing in it.
Yeah, and then we'll just meet up when we're doing podcasting and stuff. I'd love that. And it gets you up out of bed, doesn't it? Give you a bit of purpose.
It's funny that I think that you go almost full circle with that. Obviously, I spent years working in an office.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I love being at home. It's so convenient. But actually, I really would like to have somewhere to go in.
As long as it wasn't too far away.
As long as it weren't too far away, somewhere to be in at 8 o'clock or whatever and work there.
Oh no, it's nice. I do agree. I was thinking that when I used to work in Shoreditch, when I was coming towards the end of working with Luke, I was like, get me home. Get me my own Mac, my little office, but then it's just like, I'd do anything to have a little set up in Shoreditch again.
Yeah, I agree. We should look into a little WeWork thing. The problem is with me is all day I'm talking to a camera, so I need quiet space. So if we did, I'd have to have my own roof office that the door closed.
Doable.
Exactly, yeah.
I hate doing check-ins in front of people as well. I think
I'm the same.
I remember you in Marbella doing check-ins. I was having a nap, but I weren't napping. I was listening. I thought, how's Joe go about it? Joe's got a check-in voice, though.
Yeah.
Proper check-in.
Hi, mate, how you doing?
Not like Callum.
Hey buddy.
Hey, Chief.
Yeah, Chief, that's it. Hey, Chief. Just doing his clicks when he's doing his check-in.
That's so funny.
But yeah, no, I would be, I'd definitely well up for it, for sure.
Sure, invest in some things out in Marbella, mate.
Bit far away, that.
Nah,
no,
nothing's too far away.
Why do all 3 of you live in London, and what could be alternatives for you? Love that question.
Yeah, good
Big
question.
up Jan DeVos. Tom lives in London because he's from here. He would live in either Marbella or Ibiza or Mykonos or maybe Manhattan or Brooklyn.
Yeah, that you've absolutely nailed who I am.
Yeah.
I'd either live in London, Marbella, Ibiza or Brooklyn. And yeah, I'd love a place in each, to be honest. I don't know if I could live anywhere else.
You're quite a homebody as well.
I am.
You do like London.
Yeah, love it.
Real Londoner.
Yeah. Like born and bred South East London, just like grew up Lewisham and that, and just walking like that bustle. I can't do. Whenever I'm in a place that's a little bit too quiet, I have to sort of cause a ruckus. So maybe that is the alpha in me. I have to start flipping tables if I go through 3 days in that's like Centre Park.
Quiet.
I love Centre Parks, but after day 3, I'm thinking,
bit quieter.
Yeah, call it on.
See, Centre Parks is madness for me because I come from the real countryside.
Madness in what sense?
Like, it's busy as fuck.
Centre
Parks, I'm like, there's a lot of people around here.
Oh my God.
I live in the sticks, mate.
I'm the opposite. I'm knocking on villas going, party? Drink? The Rapids are wild.
What about you, Josh? Why do you live in London, and where else would you?
I honestly live here for my girlfriend. I literally moved here so that we could live together. not only is that the incentive, but like I'm next to these two fine gentlemen next to me. I'm probably training out one of the best gyms in the UK.
Definitely down south.
Yeah, and there's like some good access to some good gyms.
It's London, isn't
That's
it?
pretty much it.
It's London. It's 20 minutes
pretty much it.
into City of London. For networking is brilliant. Like, I went out the other day, went and watched Henry at the boxing, and just you don't get that. You don't get that like bumping into figures like that up north.
Yeah.
I suppose you do, like in like Brum maybe, but that consistency in London is just like every time I go out there, I think, wow.
Yeah, I live in London because I moved here for work originally, and then bought a property in not really London, but like Kent, border of London, and then left. Well, I was at my parents a bit, and I came back, and the reason I'm back is because of it's largely that connectivity thing. Like, I'm here because all the people that I would want to spend any time with are also here. I feel disconnected when I'm not here, or at least not in a city like London. Where else could I live? I would live in Dubai largely for. I've always wanted to live abroad for a bit. One of my main like reservations for moving there, despite me sort of almost completely committing to it, was like, is that going to cancel like our opportunities as a trio? And I wouldn't be sat here if I was living there. So I am definitely settled here for the next year. Who knows what will go on after traveling like for competitions this year? I would live in Miami in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Really,
It's unreal. Like, and I think it's a bit of a tax haven as well. I've also heard that. So Miami, I just found so cool.
you know what? The real tax haven is Portugal.
Is it?
Yeah, man.
The Algarve.
With some guy on Saturday, and he was filling me in, and I was like, oh my god.
Even in Marbella, it's pretty good. I think it's 21% flat rate, something like that. Just flat, like you earn whatever you earn, 20%.
Yeah.
We should take over a 40, 50, whatever it is.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I'd honestly, we'll probably live in California, the worst tax place in the world. So I would happily move anywhere. Like I'm a bit like Joe. Like I'd love to. The only times that I've done some time abroad, like for a long period of time, maybe 3 months in California, just loved it. Like, I want a new routine in a new country, different culture. I think it'd be really cool. So.
Yeah, I can't.
Anywhere.
I can't do Christmas. Like I freak out if I don't do Christmas.
Can't do a hot Christmas.
No,
I'd love to be. I would love to be in Oz for Christmas just to see what it's like. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just I don't know if I enjoy it.
I've done Christmas in Dubai before. It's a bit weird.
Well, I was there around Christmas last year, and I did.
Like,
you kind of walk out from the hot into the kind of cool like shopping centre, and then they're playing Christmas music. It's like,
nah, don't fuck with me, man. I won't be.
What I found weird is if you go in all the shops, like I was in Zara there, they've got winter coats out.
Yeah,
fucking baking over there. It's like
really?
29 degrees still. Yeah, but obviously in terms of like acclimatization, for them that's cold, so they put a coat on. Mind blowing up.
And for people travelling, I suppose, pick up some stuff.
I would say that is largely the bulk of the questions. To be fair,
I mean, we appreciate those questions. We'll just moving forward, staying current with whatever's happening within the industry, but at the same time, just pulling on your guys and girls' questions and elaborating them a little bit more and giving an insight into our life. I think we were supposed to discuss about off seasons, weren't we? Maybe we have to do that next week.
Well, how many minutes is there? Can't see.
We've got 14 minutes left in the studio.
Yeah, we can transfer that over to next week.
What are you doing now with? Are you natty still? Like natty?
Yeah, I mean in terms of
artificially.
In terms of an actual reading, yeah, very much a natural. 15 nanomolar.
Couldn't be any more centrist natural then.
No.
And the plan.
I feel good, man. I feel, man.
Hey man.
Hey man.
Brother man.
Hey man.
Hey, could you stop putting your pictures next to mine,
yeah, man. Don't compare me. Don't compare yourself to me, man. I'm 15 nanomolar. I don't know what is going on. I honestly think my decision on sort of TRT and anabolics is based on what it is and what I want to do in my life in terms of having children and kids and that. So yeah, but I feel good. I feel fit, agile. And when you're scientific means I feel quick. Did you see McGregor walking up and down yesterday?
Yeah, hunting down Max Holloway.
Fucking
in his living room?
He's lost it, mate. I love it.
Not going to find him there, son.
He's just completely.
That'd be a good fight. That'd be a dog fight.
Oh mate, scrap. It's a good one for him.
Because you won't probably win it.
It's a good one for him, and I'd love to see it. I think we all would love to see him back in the octagon. But yeah, don't sleep on Max, mate. He's an animal. He's an absolute animal. This is why I get annoyed when people write off McGregor. Like this knee-jerk reaction, like, oh, he's done now, he's finished. Like, well, he's gone up against arguably the best. Poirier's incredible. You know, I think we need to. I think we just knock him down a little bit and put him back in there. It's a shame that I think UFC are getting rid of Diaz.
Yeah, I saw that.
And
Nick.
Nate as well.
They're both.
I think Nate might be up soon. I'm not 100% sure, but it's a shame that they didn't give us Diaz McGregor trilogy.
Of course.
I think that'd be a great fight for him. And then go into a Ferguson and see how he goes from there, and then yeah, I doubt Khabib's coming back anytime soon.
I can't.
He likes that life too much, doesn't he? He's fallen straight into that.
I still think he'll put everyone away. So
yeah, he's a fucking animal, isn't he?
Wrap it up there then.
Pardon?
Should we wrap it up there?
yeah, we'll leave it there. Cheers,
Absolutely.
everybody.
Thank you for this is episode number 3. Episode 3. Thank you for joining us, and we shall see you next week. All the best.
Peace, everybody.
Ciao.